In a world scorched by the sun, scarred by war, one story dared to ask the ultimate question. What if we just threw every single action movie trope into a blender and hit puree? Get ready, folks, for a tale of heroism, vengeance, and some truly, truly questionable financial decisions. All right, let's get into this, because it's a wild one.
You get one of the most gloriously unhinged epics ever put to paper. That's what. We're about to untangle a story so chaotic, it honestly feels less like a narrative and more like a beautiful fever dream. A story with not one, but two, count 'em, two, completely separate protagonists who never, ever meet. Yeah, this is going to be a ride.
So, our story kicks off in the Sonoran Desert. Picture it. The sun is beating down like a hammer. The only shade is your own shadow. Oh, and yeah, a Russian army has just invaded the west coast of America. You know, just your average Tuesday.
So this is Joe Black. His family's gone, his arm is shot to hell, and there are Russian helicopters circling outside like vultures. With his dying breath, he scribbles a note, stuffs it in an envelope, and gets ready to entrust it to the very first person he sees, which of course happens right after a brief and very fatal shotgun standoff.
And as luck, or, sheer narrative convenience would have it, that first person is Sergeant Vanderman Vugerton. He's a U.S. Marine whose own helicopter just happened to crash land nearby. He manages to survive the shootout with Joe, takes the mysterious envelope, and is left standing there with the Cowboys' cryptic final words.
Now, Vanderman's backstory is, well, it's a masterclass in subtlety. He was born during a train collision, thrown from the wreckage as a baby, only to land safely on another passing train. Naturally, he was a gifted acrobat. Later on, he single-handedly defeated a Russian encampment because a fly landed on a tank's fire button while he was trying to swat it. Basically, what this all boils down to is he's less a character and more a walking cartoon who runs on pure, dumb luck.
So Vanderman has this mysterious envelope, and he sets off in his mission. Find the nephew of the dying cowboy. This is the guy this whole desperate quest is for.
And he finds him almost immediately. This is Cooper Black, a man who introduces his crew as a rebellion force sponsored by agencies in New York. He's driving a stolen 4x4, chugging Red Bull like it's water, and he has a very, very specific mission on his mind.
Right, so with his uncle dead and a war literally raging around him, Cooper's top priority is collecting debts. See, some gangster named Phileas Cackrell hacked his account and stole nearly $25 billion. So Cooper's brilliant plan to get it back? Track down his smallest debtors first for a few $1,000s. It's a strategy.
Their first stop is a shootout at a place called Ricardo's Bistro. After getting punched in the face, Cooper, our supposed hero, isn't worried about, dying. No, he's worried about the investment he's made in his skincare. A man of priorities, clearly.
Next up is a car dealer named Jan Rancho. This whole thing leads to a car chase that ends with Rancho's car teetering on a cliff edge. And Cooper, in a moment of, let's call it decisiveness, just shoots him, which is a brilliant move until he immediately realizes he just shot the guy who owed him 85 grand. Genius at work.
Cooper's little rampage finally gets him arrested and sent to the worst prison on the planet. It turns out to be an old mining shaft with no guards because the electricians who built it cut corners to pocket an extra $800. So Vanderman finally shows up, gives him the letters from his dead uncle, and Cooper just tears the bars off the wall and walks out. Simple as that. And just as Cooper's quest for his billions seems to be getting back on track, the narrative takes a sharp left turn into an entirely different universe. It's like the author just got bored and decided to change the channel.
That's right, we have a new protagonist, a new plot, a new continent. So forget the Cowboys, because we are now, with absolutely zero warning, in the world of international espionage.
So, meet Harrison Garrison. He's a highly skilled agent for a secret organization called the MBC. He's just returned to New York for a much-needed, peaceful vacation, and I think you can probably see where this is going.
Yeah. His vacation immediately implodes. A call from his old friend Luther about a stolen warhead leads him to a New York hotel. A gunfight breaks out, some mysterious woman saves the day, and in all the chaos, Harrison accidentally activates the single greatest threat to metropolitan infrastructure this side of a Godzilla movie. And what a threat it is! The GS-Freya robot is a giant snake made of a titanium alloy that vaporizes people with lasers, shoots missiles from its mouth, and, my personal favorite, roars when its battery gets low. The manual clearly states you should stay 15 meters away. A very reasonable suggestion, I think.
So how does our super spy hero handle this city-destroying menace? Well, he gets smacked in the face by its tail, lands on a passing truck, gets unwittingly transported to an airport, flown to Sydney, Australia, and then left for dead in a sewer. Heroism, folks.
But hey, don't count Harrison out just yet. After he gets rescued and then immediately betrayed by some fake agents, he's back on his feet, he's angrier, and he is ready for round 2. This is where his epic quest for vengeance truly begins.
So let's just trace this masterful path to revenge, shall we? First, his best friend Luther dies tragically, so Harrison hijacks the robot snake and rides it through the Earth's core from New York to Sydney, as you do. When he gets there, he accidentally triggers a bomb that destroys a hotel and finds the entire city engulfed in flames. Finally, he reaches his organization's headquarters, only to find it's also been blown to smithereens. His revenge tour is going great.
So here we are. He has lost everything. His friends are gone. His allies are gone. His mission is in tatters. All that's left is a burning desire for revenge against the shadowy forces that caused all this destruction. It's a classic setup for a dramatic, action-packed finale. Except the story just ends. Right there. No finale. Cooper Black is never heard from again. Harrison's revenge never happens. We are just left with 2 completely unresolved plotlines hanging in the air. So what is this thing? Is it a brilliant satire of action movie logic? Or is it simply the most beautifully chaotic mess ever conceived? That, my friends, is for you to decide.